back. We're going to get into the player ratings to Philadelphia Union 3, Minnesota United 2. It was a beautiful day for some soccer or football. But the lineups come out, so we have Vito Malone in goal. No one thought that would change with Bobby being hurt and Dwayne being the backup on the bench today. The rookie. Vito played good. He had a really, really good save off a header. Can't remember who it quite comes off of, but it's in the second half, and it was a really, really good save. Great reaction save. But you can't do much about the penalty. He doesn't get to that. I just don't know if he could maybe do a little bit better on the free kick goal, the second goal they score. Yeah, man, it's a good shot, but I haven't went back and watched it, but I question to think if maybe he could have done a little bit better. Still can't fault him for that goal. Even though before that, the foul that Opara gives to give that free kick, I don't think it was a foul, and the ref was awful calling fouls in the midfield. Very inconsistent, but I can't blame that goal on Vito, but I just wish he could maybe do a little bit better, but you can't really blame him for that. And the second goal, or the last goal, you can't really blame him for either. I thought Vito played pretty good. He had a lot to do with Brett Kallman playing his worst game of the year, I think, for me at least this year. But Vito Malone, I think, gets I'll give him a 7.5. I just don't think I can give him an 8 because we do give up 3 goals. But he had a great save, and I can't fault him for the other 2. So yeah, 7.5. And then we'll go to center back pairing was Ike Opara and Brett Kallman. Kallman had by far his worst game of the year, like I just said. After starting the year really well, really good well. He is to blame for the first goal on the penalty. I haven't went back and watched it, but it was late and it was a penalty, I think. So he's to blame for the first goal. The second goal, not. I don't know if he's quite to blame for it. Ike Opara does eventually get the foul, but the defense altogether was very poor, and they give away that free kick. Can't blame Kallman for the second one, but for the last goal, he's got to just put his foot through it. I don't know. Kallman loves to go low and head out these low balls when you should be, as a defender, getting your foot through it and kicking it to Rosette. It needs to get out of here. Like, you just got to kick it out sometimes, and that's a spot where you put your leg through it and you let it go. He's gone. Because he puts his head down and the Philadelphia Union player beats him to it and just is able to kick it in. And you'd argue, some people might say his head's low, so it's a dangerous play. But Kallman has no right to be diving for that low ball. No right. The Philadelphia Union player has every right to go through it and score. Can't even remember the name. Really poor performance from Kallman today, unfortunately. Have to give him a 3 out of 10. Definitely. Very poor performance after playing very well. Ike Opara is, I'd say, to blame for the second goal, fouling, even though I don't think it was a foul. Chapman, the ref, was poor and gives it to him, so Ike could have done better in a couple situations. He on the corners, he was active, and he was up in there. He had a couple decent chances in the air on corners, but he is to blame for the second goal, and our defense gives up 3, and he just lackluster performance from the defense. just didn't want that clean sheet, I guess. But Ike definitely gets 4 out of 10. I'd have to say both of them did not play very well. Ike did do some good things. They both got rid of some danger, but both overall poor performance. And I think they know that, and the team knows that, and they're going to come out and probably work real hard this week. I know that. Montier comes back at your right back, and he played not as well as Roman Montier plays, but you could tell it was a blessing for him to be back, because a lot of our offense goes to that right side, and Montier is always really active. And I'd say in the first half he actually got caught out defensively a couple times. I think he didn't track back enough, for my liking at least. I saw on that side there was a lot of space, and him not tracking back as much, but he did play very well. Put a lot of balls in. Was really active on that right side. I'd give him a 6 out of 10. He isn't really to blame for the first goal or the second, but I think he's the one who allows the cross to go in, to get put in. Can't expect him to block every cross, but I think a 6 might be a little generous, due to the lackluster defense of the whole back four. Besides, I'd say him and Hassani Dotson tracked back a lot. So, but Montier did not play as well as Hassani did, at least, because Hassani gets the man of the match, and I'd say for me, he gets at least an 8 out of 10. There's once or twice caught out, or he got beat, but other than that, there was one other time where Hassani just doesn't have the pace to catch up. Luckily, Vito made a really good save on a one-on-one. I did forget about that, so I'm going to have to go back, and Vito gets an 8 today. I have to say that, but Hassani played really well, and he gets an 8 as well. I actually 8.5 for the goal. But man, it just stinks that our offense just stunk. That's what I'm about to get to, really, because I mean, Jan and Alonso in the midfield. They were passing all over. There's a couple times where they're gliding through the midfield. They did a pretty good job. I just don't think there was enough penetration in some of those passes. Gregus didn't play particularly well. He had a lot of good balls on corners, I think. But I'd have to give Ozzy and Jan probably 5 out of 10s today. I made them maybe a little harsh, so I don't think they broke up a lot of play and distributed the ball a bit, but I just think there's a couple times where the decision making needs to be different. Ozzy glided through the midfield, I remember on one occasion, and then ripped a shot that was just an awful shot when he could have maybe looked for a pass or just did something, because we just not need to test the goalkeeper. We can't be shooting and missing all the time, because with 29 shots, it just didn't seem like our night. But nonetheless, 5.5s for both of them, I'd say. Then Miguel in left mid, I think you could tell he had built a lot of work in this last week. After the performance last week, I think he actually should have got a penalty call. He gets taken out in the box, and the ref weighs it off. But I think he gets taken out of the box when we're putting a ball in, and just gets absolutely taken out. I think it should be a penalty. I haven't went back and seen it back on replay, but I think it's a penalty every day of the week. And I think Miguel played very well. He was active. He tracked back a bit. It's just some of the decision making in the final third. We just can't get it done. We just really lack ideas in that final third. And it's so frustrating. And I love Miguel, and he didn't have a bad game today, but he didn't have the best game today. I'm fortunate not to get that penalty call, but I'll give him a 7 out of 10. Finley on the right did not particularly play well either. Went missing a couple times. Couple shots that he took were weak. Couple giveaways. He did create a couple really good chances in the beginning, and he looked like he maybe get into the game, but then he kind of drifted out. And I think he's the first one. We have to make a double substitution. He comes off, so he doesn't even play the 90 minutes. So I'm gonna have to give him a 5 out of 10. Not a great overall performance from Ethan. And then we go to Darwin, and Darwin really should have had two goals, maybe. He gets one he needs to put away, and he just can't find the back of the net. He really can't, Darwin. And his attitude on the field is just driving me nuts. The hands in the air, he's and I think his teammates know they're really not digging that. He needs to put his head down and work because his attitude on the pitch is poor. And I know it's not going well, but that's what happens. Forwards have these slumps, and I know Darwin has had slumps. Like they talked about his attitude at Club America a bit, but he needs to put his head down and get out of it. He can't just make a move. He can't just move and go to a new club. And there's been rumor mills that we're maybe shopping him around. I don't think it'll happen for a while, but we have to remember he is 30, and the first half of this season has been quite poor. But I think it's a little bit too soon to be talking those ideas. Just a little insight that I've been seeing out there. But he gets subbed off as well with Ethan, and I think Darwin had a very poor game. There was a lot of individualism. There's some opportunities created, but he just couldn't get a goal, and I really have to say, like, a 3 out of 10 is deserving for today. It was a very poor performance, very poor. And then Hassani stuck in my head because he played so well, but Angelo Rodriguez is the last player in the starting 11. And Angelo had amazing build-up play a lot of times. There were some times where it wasn't as good. But I really do applaud his build-up play, and his hold-up play I think is really good sometimes, and I really like it. But I wish he could get his head to some of these balls or get a goal or two, because he shoots at a lot of bodies, and he does make a really good move and a nice shot, and Blake makes an incredible save on him, and it's frustrating, and you can tell he wants that goal. And he played well, but we just a lot of these shots are going wide from everyone, not just only him, and we just need goal scorers. We need to bring someone in to get some goals. But Angelo, I'd say, gets a 6 out of 10 today. His build-up play and hold-up play was pretty good, but the finishing was poor. And then we'll go on to the substitutions. So I don't know who comes on for who, but Abu Dalali and comes on for, I can't remember if it was Ethan Finley or Darwin Quintero, and Kevin Molino comes in for the other one. So it was a double substitution. and Molino. I believe Molino probably came in to replace Darwin because that's the role he came in and played. And once Molino was on the pitch, he changed the game completely. He took it by the scruff of the neck, and he was creating opportunities, gliding through players in the midfield, making 1-2s, creating opportunities, hitting Abu on the left, on the right side, who came on for Finley. I do know who they came on for, duh. But Delali is on that right side, and for how critical I have been of him, I have been absolutely critical. I literally called him a bust last week. He played really, really good as a substitution, and actually gets the assist to Kevin Molino on our second goal. And really, 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 actually blew my mind. I should have known Abu Dhabi was going to come on. We needed some change, but I wasn't expecting him to come on and play this well. He seemed to have been not as he knew where the line of offsides was. He wasn't getting caught offsides. I don't think he got caught offsides at all tonight, which is outstandingly impressive from someone who has been struggling from that recently. But him and Molino changed the game completely, and rightfully so. Molino gets the goal, and Abu gets the assist. So I'm going to give them both 8s tonight. I think they both played very well. Unfortunately, we didn't win, though. It was 3-2. But anyway, see you next week. Come on, you loons.